For this class, I'm going to lead you through a series of stretches that I find are really nice to use when I've been especially active. On those days after a long run or even a short run, after bike riding, after going for hikes, after even long walks through the city. I just like to stretch it out, remobilizing my spine, remobilizing my hips, and moving away from the likelihood of repetitive movement that my prior activity caused me to make. So to begin, have a couple blocks on hand. Whether you use them or not, it's always nice to have the props nearby. So just set them somewhere within reach and come and join me in a seated position, please. You might even go ahead and sit onto a prop to elevate your bum so that you don't have so much pressure on your knees or for some of you, so much pressure on your hips. So take a second here now just to get grounded. So sitting comfortably, close your eyes and start to tune into your body. Begin to tune into your breath. And allow your mind to become a watcher of the body. Allow the mind to start to scan your body. Maybe that's from the earth to the ceiling or from the ceiling down to the earth. Maybe it's from left to right or right to left. Or perhaps your mind finds your body on the swirl of your breath, the route that your breath is traveling in. Whatever the route is, just watch yourself and observe yourself. And maybe you'll feel places in your body where you feel more tension, more stress, more strain, or fatigue. And when those areas are identified, just see them without analyzing, without trying to fix or change or shift, but rather just be there with your body, be there with your breath, and be there with yourself. Let your breath take on a larger shape now. Taking deep breaths in and letting deep breaths out. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Now on this one, draw your lungs full up with breath. Inhale. And go ahead, open your mouth and sigh out your exhale. You got it. Grip your hands onto your knees. Fairly strong grip without grabbing on tightly. So cupping your hands to your knees will move through spinal movements, so through flexion and extension of the spine. As you exhale, round your spine back and let your head drop down without being forceful. And now inhale, move in the opposite direction. So the belly button spills forward. Lift your chest up, lift your gaze up, shoulders go back. Repeat, exhale, round your spine towards the wall behind you and let your head drop down. Breathe in to arc up. And breathe out, round back. Continue to move like this, timing your movement on your own breath rhythm, your own breath pattern. But let that rhythm be long, let it be deliberate, and let it be felt. One more time to arc your spine, lift up your chest, lift up your chin, your eyes, and exhale, come to a neutral spine. Let's move now into lateral bends of the spine. So opening up the sidelines of your waist. You might use a block underneath your hand. I'm going to. Placing a block to the floor beneath your hand or simply using your hand on the ground. Leave your right arm, so we'll start with the right hand to your prop or to the floor. Leave a bend in your right elbow so you're not jamming your arm straight. Let your right shoulder stay soft. Then go ahead and raise your left arm up, up, and over. And instead of reaching so much with your arms, really hoist up through the left side of your rib cage. And then breathe into the left side of your rib cage. Deep breaths in. And deep breaths out. Keep your right shoulder relaxed and unbunched from your ear. Your breath is finding the natural way. And with a little bit more of energy, a little bit more conscious movement behind the breath, allow your breath to forge new ways, new pathways. Take one more deep breath in. Now, when you exhale, cross your left hand to your right knee and then slide your right hand back. I'm going to take my block with me. Sit up really tall and cinch in your waistline so that your core is contracting, and let the core strength draw you into a spinal twist. So twisting to your right. So if I were to take my hands off of my prop and my knee, I'm not losing any rotation. So give that a try. And if you notice you bounce back to center, it's a good indicator that you're using too much arm strength for this rotation. A little bit of help from the hands is okay, but let's really focus on wringing out the core, keeping the spine nice and tall as though you're balancing a platter on your head, and then breathing up through the spiral of your backbone. Okay, one last breath in here. And when you exhale, release and come back to center. Let's go to the second side. So now the left hand comes to the floor to your trusty prop. And then take your right arm up, 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 both shoulder blades down your back. And then lift through the ribs to side bend to your left. Now, can you focus your breath more deliberately into your right lung? When I do that, I feel like my rib cage on my right side is getting more spacious. So it feels like there's more space between each of my rib bones. And that translates into more space in my spine, or so it feels. And that feels really good to me. It feels expansive. And it feels like a letting go. What can you let go of here? Take one more deep breath in. Go ahead and cross your right hand to your left knee as you breathe out. Walk back your left hand some. Both of your shoulder blades trim onto your back, so make yourself really broad across the collarbones. Sit up tall, 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 and then deepen the twist. So again, cinching through the waist, corseting your waist to create the rotation. Take one more deep breath in. Come back to center as you breathe out. Now, I'm going to use my blocks again. Scoop my bum back a tiny bit. Slide your hands out in front of you and bow down over your shins. So I'm actually going to take my blocks and prop up my elbows for this. Now I feel this deep in my hips. Some of you might feel it in your shoulders, in the sides of your waist. So how this feels for me isn't necessarily going to feel the same for you. So I encourage you to go into your own body, into the felt spaces. And go in not just with your mind, but remember your breath. Use your breath on the body to dislodge any tension, to let you settle, to let you be supported, so that you can let go. Take a deep breath in, sigh out. Okay, go ahead and sit back up. Move my blocks off to the side. Just leaning back onto my hands. I'll take my feet out in front of me. And so I'm pretty casually leaning back into my arms. I kind of like this because it comes up around my shoulders. And then go ahead. Let's do a retake on that. So coming up to sit onto your mat, I'm going to separate my feet to about mat width. What would be mat width apart? I mean, mat width like this would be extra wide. So let's just go wider than hip width to be more exact. And casually windshield wash your shins side to side. So now I'm starting to explore my hips. My hip socket, so my thigh bone, how my thigh bone plays in the socket of my hips. And I also feel this in my low back and my sacrum a little bit because I'm paying attention to that. Okay, coming back to center, lie onto your back now. Again, have your blocks within easy reach to you. Again, have your blocks within easy reach to you. Lay on the ground with your feet now actually mat width apart. Lay on the mat with your feet mat width apart, and let's do the windshield wash of the shins again. I like my arms overhead for this. So start to drop your knees slowly one side and then back to center and then to the other side and back to center. Okay, with both your knees back up, bring your feet to about hip width apart now. Leave your left foot on the ground and take a hold of your right shin just below the knee. And so make a basket weave. That's what I like with my hands. So it's like a little bit of a hand lock, a finger lock. And I use that to net my shin and draw my shin down. So I'm drawing my shin down. And then I like to bring my shin towards my right jawline, towards my right ear. It's a very gradual movement and very steady but not aggressive pressure. So I'm drawing down and slightly towards myself. This might not be detectable to the camera, but I certainly feel that downward pressure and that progressive draw of my knee towards my jawline. In fact, I feel it so much that I'm going to go ahead and close my eyes and give myself some time with my breath. You're welcome to do the same. Take a deep breath in and sigh your breath out. Okay, now widen your right knee more to the right so it's wider than your rib cage now if possible. Stick your foot straight up in the air and try to maintain a 90-degree or 90-degree-ish angle on the back of your knee. And flex your ankle. Your left foot, keep it where it's at and keep that knee bent. Hold on to your right leg. It could be at the hamstring, the calf, the ankle, or if this is within easy reach, go ahead and grab a hold of the outside of your foot. And then again, gradually draw your knee down towards the floor beside you. So you might not come anywhere near touching your thigh to the floor. I've been doing this a long time, so remember, this is my job. And so this is a little easier for me than it might be for you. And that's just the way it is for now. Things change, right? Now this left leg, it's still bent, but let it sort of just tip open so that the weight of gravity on the inside of your knee starts to open up your left inner thigh. Now, lastly, place your left hand onto your tummy, shut your eyes, and just breathe. Whew. Let out any sighs if they call to be released. Take a deep breath in and sigh your breath out. Okay, let go of your right foot, but point your left knee up so that you can cross your right ankle on your thigh. So you're making a figure 4 shape with your legs. Now, you can either leave your left foot on the floor. Another option is to take your trusty block and prop up your left foot. So remember, your block has 3 different heights. So it can be lowest height, mid height, or tallest height. So those of you who are tight through the hips, using a block underneath your foot could be a really good next step alternative, a good in-between spot. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna thread the needle. So threading my right arm through. Make sure I'm still in the frame here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and thread the needle. So thread my right arm through my leg, and I'm holding onto my shin. Notice the bend in my right ankle here. I'm gonna keep it pretty darn flexed. That actually intensifies the stretch in my hip, and it's said that this helps there's some school of thought that this helps to keep the knee joint stabilized and less likely of being injured. And as you hold this reclined pigeon position, target the stuck points in your hip, the stiff points in your hip. Target that with your breath. One more deep breath in. When you exhale, release just your left foot to the floor. Scoot the block out of the way if it's there. Now, this might be too much for some of you, but give it a try. Leave your right ankle on your thigh. So you're still in that figure 4 position. Take the package of your legs and you're gonna drop them over to the left. So as I do that, I'm gonna pick up my bum, shift it to the right, and now, the package of my legs goes to the left. So it's a pretty deep spinal twist. I feel a lot of this in the outside of my hip and into my right side belly. Now take your right arm and reach it beside you. So notice with my left hand, I'm actually holding my right ankle. So otherwise, because I'm a little bit stiff through the hips, if I let go, my feet sort of slide away and I lose the stretch. Now, if this particular position doesn't work for you, just simply uncross your right ankle and lay your left leg on top of your right leg. Both are bent, so you're still in this reclined spinal twist. You're just working with what feels good for your body today. One more deep breath in here. Clear your breath out. Bring your knees back up and let's do the second side. Okay, so starting in half happy, before we go to half happy baby, hold on to your left shin. So remember, make that basket weave lock with your hands, that basket weave grip. So you're in a tight fold with the left knee and draw your shin down. Meanwhile, your free leg, which is your right leg on this side, your right foot, it's on the floor and your right knee is bent. So I'm drawing down with my hands on my left shin, and then I'm dragging my left knee towards my jawline. Okay, half happy baby now. So let go of your shin. You want the shin to be vertical, your heel over top of your knee. The knee is out wider than the ribs. Hold on to your thigh, your calf, your ankle, or again, if it's within easy reach, hold on to your outer left foot and now draw your leg down. Your right leg, the free leg, remember, just let it slightly tilt open. Right hand to your tummy, shut your eyes and breathe here. Sigh if it feels right for you. Let out any stagnant energy. Let out anything that feels trapped. Let out anything that's ready to be released, to be let go of. Let go now. One more deep breath in. Sigh, clear out. Okay, point your right knee back up. Cross your left ankle on your right thigh. So remember, now we're back in that figure 4 position. You can take your block and place it under your right foot again. Don't forget that little trick. Otherwise, draw your legs in towards you. Catch a hold of your right shin and find that deep hip opener. This time, the left side is the hip that's opening. Breathe into it. Remember, keep a pretty decent flex, a pretty decent bend in your left ankle. I find in my hips especially, I find it useful to imagine that there's like a deflated balloon that's in my hip joint. A deflated balloon that's kind of like stuck together. And I use every inhale to puff up that balloon a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. If I really focus on it, I can get the sense that it's as though the tissue of my lungs extends right into my pelvic bowl, right into the hip socket, my left hip socket that I'm targeting with my mind and with my breath. With every inhale, that balloon gets a little larger. And with every exhale, the stickiness gets a little less and a little less and a little less. Take one more deep breath in. Open your mouth and sigh your breath out. Keep your left ankle crossed on your thigh, remember, but lower your right foot right onto the ground. We're going to come into that spinal twist. So remember option one, which is the more, let's say the bigger option, it will probably have more sensory feedback, is you'll lift your hips, swing your hips to the left and fall the package of your legs to the right. So I'm going to hold on to my ankle. Oh, this side is a lot tighter for me. And I can actually not just feel that in my body, but I can see that because my left knee, which is the knee that's technically supposed to be sticking up towards the ceiling, is sticking out more on a diagonal line. And that's okay. So that's not perfect, but it's perfect for me, I think. So I'm just going to take a moment here to feel into what's going on in my hip. And the truth of the matter for me right now is that that's a little bit too aggressive. So I'm going to unclip my ankle from my knee and let my knee stack in this spinal twist. And you're welcome to do the same. Take a deep breath in, sigh your breath out. Bring your knees back up to center so they're pointing at the ceiling. Widen your feet to about mount width apart and take a few moments just to windshield wash your shins to the left and to the right. I like to do this really slow, really deliberate. I find it's just such a nice release for the tissue, my glutes, my hips. I even feel this like right up into my belly. Good psoas release. It's pretty deep for me. Release into the TFL. Okay, bring your knees back up. Let's do a little bit of a hamstring release before we shut down for this practice. So leave your left foot on the floor, kick your right leg straight up, okay? So I'm not cueing you, you'll notice I'm not cueing you to bring your leg towards you, but rather try to have your heel directly over top of your hip and have a really deep bend in your ankle so that you're pushing up with your heel and pulling down with the top of your foot, okay? So some of you won't be able to get your leg this straight, no problem. Reach around and take that basket weave lock with your hands. Lock the back of your leg. So grip the back of your leg. Now, if you're like, oh crap, I can't reach my leg, no problem. It's a good idea to grab like, whether it's a belt, a housecoat belt, a yoga strap, and you can loop your strap behind your leg and you use that to bridge the gap between your hands and the back of your thigh. So I'm gonna use my actual hand. Now, what I want you to do is push your leg, your hamstring, so you're holding the back of the thigh, not your calf, okay? So holding back of the thigh, hamstring, push your leg into your hands. Woo, that's a lot. It doesn't look like much on camera, or if you're standing in this room, it probably doesn't look like much, but I can tell you this is a lot for me, especially because I went for a run this morning and I spent a lot of time at a desk today. So I find this is a really great back line, so back body release. So I'm pushing my legs so much into my hands that if my hands were to unlock, my leg would go flinging towards the floor. So keep breathing here. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Whew. Okay, now let go of the push a tiny bit and turn your toes out to the right. So it's your right foot that's sticking in the air. Rotate your thigh bone in your hip socket externally so that your toes turn out to about a 45-degree angle. So if you're looking at the face of a clock, your toes would be turning about to like 2:30. And then again, start to reassert the push of your leg into the lock grip of your hands. Take one more deep breath in. Okay, relax that, let go. Let's do the second side. So place your right foot onto the floor. Kick your left leg straight up. So remember, heel over top of hip. Hold on with the lock grip or the belt behind your left thigh now. Deep bend in your left ankle. So drive your heel up, the top of your foot down. Now push your leg into your clasped hands. Breathing, of course. Oh, pardon me. Oh, that's a good release for me. Clearly, big yawn. Okay. Just a couple more breaths like this. I'm feeling like I'm trying to get out of this sooner than I should. We gotta stay here a little bit longer to balance out the two sides. Okay, now rotate your left toes to the left. So that would probably be like 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11. Ooh, ha. Deep breaths. One more inhale. And sigh, exhale. Okay, release your left foot to the floor. Now, we'll just do a couple of more spinal articulations before shutting down. I kind of lied to you a little bit there. Told you we'd be closing after the hamstring stretch, but let's just a little bit more with the spine. So as I lay on my back here, I can slip my hands with pretty easily underneath my low back because of my lumbar spine curve. And I have a little bit of tush, right? So what I would like you to do is that low back section, that lumbar spine section, draw your navel down and press your low back into the mat. And what you'll notice is that your pelvic bowl just tilted there. So your tailbone lifted a little bit. I'm gonna bend my arms so you can see my low back more clearly. You might keep your hands on the ground. So I've lifted my tailbone, my sacrum, the very low plate-like bone on my back, it's pretty flat to the ground. Now I'm gonna slowly pick up my spine as though it's a length of chain. I'm picking it up one link at a time. So driving my feet down as I do this. And once I've topped out, I'm gonna go just as slowly back down to the ground. So link by link by link, bone by bone by bone, I'm laying the chain of my spine back onto the ground. The hard part for me is the low back, the lumbar spine, articulating that to the ground, and then letting my pelvic bowl roll into natural position. Do that twice more. So imprint low back onto the mat. Tailbone curls up, sacrum up, low back, bone by bone by bone, up. And just to slowly articulate back down. One last time. You could do 20 more times if you want. I'm just gonna do one more time. Ooh. And slowly returning. Very good. Lastly, let's come into a reclined, it's called Supta Baddha Konasana, like a reclined butterfly position. I'm super tight through my inner thighs, so I'm definitely gonna rely on my blocks for this. So soles of the feet together, let both knees part open. The closer I snug my blocks in towards my bum, the less intense this is. The further out, the more intense. So my knees don't even touch the block. So to get the support I need to snug my knees in a little bit closer, snug my blocks in a little bit closer to my body. Take one hand to your tummy, one hand to your chest, shut your eyes. And this is where we'll close. So stay here for at least 5 deep inhale breaths and 5 deep exhale breaths. Those breaths might be passed out from the mouth, like big, luscious sighs, releasing any residual tension that you're carrying, releasing any residual tension that you've dislodged from the nooks and crannies of your body, the tension that's ready to slough off of you. Let it go now. And after you take 5 or even more breaths, you could stretch out into Shavasana. You can stay here as long as you like, as long as you need. Stay here a little longer than you think necessary. Really give yourself this gift of rest, of restoration, of integration, and a deep letting go.